The life and sad ending of Ray Bolger. Raymond Wallace Bolger was born on January 10, 1904, at 598 2nd Street, South Boston, Massachusetts, into a Catholic family of Irish descent, the son of James Edward Bolger and Anne C. Wallace. The father, James, was first-generation Irish and was born in Fall River, Massachusetts. His mother, Annie, who had a large family, was born in Bridgewater, Massachusetts. He grew up and attended school in the Codman Square section of Dorchester neighborhood of Boston, Massachusetts. After graduating high school, he worked for a peanut company as a bank messenger and for the New England Mutual Life Insurance Company before finding his way to vaudeville by gaining a role on Broadway in The Passing Show of 1926. His entertainment aspirations evolved from the vaudeville shows of his youth. He began his career in a vaudeville tap show, creating the act Stanford and Bolger with his dance partner. In 1926, he danced at New York City's legendary Palace Theater, the premier vaudeville theater in the United States. His limber body and improvisational dance movement won him many leading roles on Broadway in the 1930s. Eventually, his career would also encompass film, television, and nightclub work. In 1932, he was elected to the Theater Club. The Lambs performed on opening night at Radio City Music Hall in December 1932. Bolger signed his first cinema contract with MGM in 1936, and although The Wizard of Oz was early in his film career, he appeared in other movies of note. His best-known pre-Oz appearance was The Great Siegfried, 1936, in which he portrayed himself. He also appeared in Sweethearts in 1938, the first MGM film in Technicolor starring Nelson Eddy, Jeanette MacDonald. He also appeared in the Eleanor Powell vehicle Rosalie, 1937, which also starred Eddy and Frank Morgan. Bolger's MGM contract stipulated that he would play any part the studio chose. However, he was unhappy when he was originally cast as the Tin Woodman in the studio's 1939 feature film adaptation of The Wizard of Oz. The role of the Scarecrow had already been assigned to another dancing studio contract player, Buddy Ebsen. In time, the roles were shuffled around. Bolger's face was permanently lined by wearing the Scarecrow's makeup. Following The Wizard of Oz, Bolger moved to RKO Pictures. In 1941, he was a featured act at the Paramount Theater in New York, working with the Harry James Band. He would do tap dance routines, sometimes in a mock challenge dance with the band's pianist, Al Lerner. One day during this period, the Japanese attacked Pearl Harbor, and Bolger's performance was interrupted by President Roosevelt's announcement of the news of the attack. Bolger toured in USO shows and in Pacific Theater during World War II, and he appeared in the United Artists wartime film Stage Door Canteen in 1943. In 1946, he returned to MGM for a featured role in The Harvey Girls. Also that year, he recorded a children's album, The Chirkindoose, featuring the story of a misfit fowl, part chicken, turkey, duck, and goose, which teaches children that beauty is in the eye of the beholder, and it all depends on how you look at things. Bolger's Broadway credits included Life Begins at 8:40 in 1934, On Your Toes, 1936, By Jupiter, 1942, All-American, 1962, and Where's Charlie, 1948, for which he won the Tony Award for Best Performance by a Leading Actor in a Musical, and in which he introduced Once in Love with Amy, the song often connected with him. He repeated his stage role in the 1952 film version of the musical. Bolger appeared in his own ABC television sitcom with a variety show theme, Where's Raymond? It ran from 1953 to 54. It was renamed the second year as The Ray Bolger Show, and that ran from 1954 to 55. He continued to star in several films, including Walt Disney's remake of Babes in Toyland, 1961, and smaller cameos throughout the 1960s and 1970. Bolger made frequent guest appearances on television, including the episode Rich Man, Poor Man of the short-lived The Jean Arthur Show in 1966. In the 1970s, he had a recurring role as Fred Renfrew, the father of Shirley Jones, on The Partridge Family, and appeared in Little House on the Prairie as Toby No, and also guest starred on other television series such as Battlestar Galactica, Fantasy Island, and The Love Boat. In the late 1970s, reaching back into his Irish roots, Bolger played in a commercial for Safeway Supermarket's Scotch-Brite brand. It covered many products ranging from canned food to paper towels to beer and cigarettes. Bolger popularized the jingle, Scotch-Brite, "'Tain't fancy, but it sure is good." His last television appearance was on Different Strokes in 1984. In his later years, he danced in a Dr. Pepper television commercial, and in 1985, he and Liza Minnelli, the daughter of his Oz co-star, Judy Garland, starred in That's Dancing. A film was also written by Jack Haley Jr., the son of Jack Haley, who portrayed the Tin Woodman in The Wizard of Oz. In 1998, a Golden Palm star on the Palm Springs, California Walk of Stars was dedicated to him. In his personal life, he was married to Gwendolyn Rickard for over 57 years. They had no children. He was a Roman Catholic and a member of the Good Shepherd Parish and the Catholic Motion Picture Guild in Beverly Hills, California. Bolger was diagnosed with bladder cancer in 1986, and at the end of that year, his health had deteriorated, and he left his Beverly Hills home to live in a nursing home in Los Angeles. Sadly, he died there on January 15, 1987. 5 days after his 83rd birthday. He was interred at Holy Cross Cemetery, Culver City. For his contributions to the film industry, Bolger received a Motion Picture Star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame in 1960. It is located at 6788 Hollywood Boulevard.